Well, good morning. It's now 31 minutes past 6 o'clock, las 6 de la mañana con 31 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días. Good morning, Belize. And thanks for choosing love on a beautiful... Today is what day, Mr. Troy Gabb?
Yes, sir. Good morning,
Mr. Troy Gabb.
Today is Wednesday for those persons who are keeping tabs on the week. It is the 26th day of August, and it is a hump day.
Are you keeping tabs on the week?
Absolutely, absolutely. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we're barreling down towards the weekend. That makes it very exciting. We're just kind of rolling through the air.
You roll, Mr. Troy Gabb?
Yes, we're already in August. Before you know it, you're going to be somewhere near the end of 2026 and near 2027, God's willing. Pleasant good morning to all of you. Short length and breadth of this BA beautiful journal of ours. We're glad you could join us this morning. If you're streaming, we certainly welcome you as well. And we hope that this morning's discussions are going to be engaging and informative. Bolido draw was 28 last night. The Bolido drawn last night was 28. If you won, congrats. If not, another draw comes up tonight at 9:10 right here on Love FM and Love Television. You got to buy. You got to be in it to win it. If you're not in it, you can't expect to win it. And as we say, Chief, you're celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. Celebrating an anniversary. We wish you all the best as well. We're glad you stuck it out. What you got, Chief? What's up?
Bueno, Mr. Troy Gabb, buenos días, good morning. El número sorteado en el bolido de anoche, el número 28.
28.
Donde quiera que nos sintonice, le deseamos lo mejor. Esperamos que si usted compró el bolido, pues que le haya traído la suerte. Pero si no le salió la suerte otra vez, pues hay que tratarlo otra vez el día de mañana, que quizás sea un mejor día para usted. ¿Verdad? Pero el 28 es el número sorteado en el bolido, Mr. Troy Gabb.
Yes, that's it. You got to be in it to win, Chief. 28 is the number.
Right.
Yes, our age a long time ago.
Yeah.
At some point in time, we were there.
And at some point in time, hopefully, it can be our age the other way around.
Oh my, there you go. There you go. You'll be older than Dolly Parton at her passing.
Yeah.
Which was 80.
Certainly, that was a touching song, played again, one of her compositions, you know, even though she made it popular. It reached number one twice, really. It was number one with her,
and then with Whitney Houston.
And then it became number one with Whitney Houston. You know, so
her remake.
Yeah, but she was a great author, a great singer, a great lover of children, you know, and that kind of. She was a philanthropist, you know, Dolly Parton, and of course in the old days at Radio Belize when you had country and western shows, you know, country and western played a key role in the early musical days, you know. All the Hank Snow and the Hank Williams and the Dolly Partons and the Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins, you know, the Bobby Bear, Skeeter Davis, you know, so many. You see, they come automatically because we go way back to those days when country and western.
Those were the original type of songs.
Yeah, and Dolly Parton kept that going, you know, all right through, you know.
Yeah, so certainly she's one of those artists that came off genuine, you know, very little controversy surrounded her. And
yes.
Most of the stories that were shared about her was about positivity.
Positivity.
She exudes positivity, you know, in her whole demeanor, and every time she interacted with the media, that's the kind of vibe you got.
Sincerity, which is perhaps one of the most important things which you don't get.
Yeah, she came off very, very genuine.
Sincere, you know.
So I'm sure she'll be missed by those close to her. I'm not quite sure.
Lovers of country music, you know.
Yeah, indeed. Well, everybody has to transition. That's one thing. Nobody will get out of this life alive.
Mr. Troy Gabb, our quote for today is by Lou Holtz. Your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do. Your attitude determines how well you do it. Make sense? Do I break that down a little bit?
Yep. Well, Lou Holtz was
your talent determines what you can do. Your motivation determines how much you're willing to do, and your attitude determines how well you do it. Lou Holtz. Go ahead. You were saying Lou Holtz was?
Yeah, Lou Holtz was a very legendary college coach for football, and so basically he dealt with athletes.
That's right, and he had to.
And so you know, there is a combination that has to go in. Coaches, most of the time, after you reach a certain level, it's not about the X and O's, but it's about how you motivate individual. It's not about teaching them fundamentals; they already come with it. But it's how do you activate that thing in them? And so, as he points out, I can identify there's players that are extremely talented, and we could transcend that into anything in life. And then, of course, it's how bad you want to do it in terms of motivation, how bad you want to achieve. Do you want to make your business grow? Do you want to get your education? Do you want to build that house? Whatever it is. And then it's the attitude that you have to be able to feel that you can do it, and you apply yourself, because if you don't do nothing, then nothing will happen.
Yeah. You don't have that attitude of, I can do it, and I will do it. And then not only saying I can do it and will do it, but actually doing it.
Nobody can motivate you, you know.
You got to motivate yourself.
They can put as much shiny objects in front of you, or much magnet in front of you, but if you don't want to move towards it, you're not going to go.
If I put a delicious sandwich in front of you right now, you don't want to eat, you won't eat it.
No, sir.
Right?
No, sir.
You understand, Mr. Trigab? So it's all up to you.
Exactly.
What you do is up to you.
So it's very, very important that you apply yourself, and you don't just accept the fact that you are where you are and you can't do any better. That's...
some people feel because they have the talent, they have it all. Oh, I got the talent for this. Oh, I have the talent for that. And then later on, they say, what going on with all that talent where I had?
Yeah,
what did it do for me?
Especially talented people, especially in sports, are the most difficult to deal with most of the time, because they're always in prima donna mode.
Yeah.
You can't coach them. So sometimes you just have to allow them to go through the process to understand that will not get you there by yourself. And then sometimes, most of the times, they recognize it, and then they start to apply themselves.
Another one important attitude is to recognize too that the other person is as good as you. In other words, everybody is good in their own right. You know, so.
Yep.
Yeah, they could learn something from everybody.
Big time then, Chief.
Yes, Mr. Trigab. 39 minutes past 6.
We take our break, William, and come right back.
Well, Mr. Troy Gab, it's now 16 minutes to 7 o'clock, and let's tell folks you've got a 15-minute window for your cars at this point in time, because we have a guest.
Henry Charles Usher coming in at 7, so
At 7 we
we'll
should
be
be
talking
talking.
about everything
A lot of
and
stuff.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going
Public
to
service, etc.
I saw at the top of your news, I thought it's worthy of a very good discussion, how we deal with this criminal environment right now, especially as it relates to the distributing companies.
Oh, yeah. That was the first item in the news.
And
Because of that
I
robbery,
think,
no?
I think it's been going on for some time now, and you know, law enforcement is almost powerless to deal with it, because it happens at time when you least expect. Like in the case of that Hope Creek situation, I mean, if you know on the coastal road where that shop is, it's kind of like isolated. Yes, there are always kind of people out in that area there. Every time I pass there through the coastal road, but it's kind of like away from most of the civilization. But the reality is that it's been going on for a long time. We've seen the migration in many urban jurisdictions throughout the world, that they move strictly to digital payments and platform, and they put up signs that we don't take cash, so kind of putting an alert to criminals, no money is here, so don't come
Everything transferred directly to the bank.
Yeah, so there's some semblance of those things right now. You have the bank transfers.
There are a few businesses too that
you have your
gonna
Digi
use
Wallet
credit cards
and eCash.
budget that way, yeah. And
credit
there's some
cards.
businesses that are migrating to wallet
Yes,
as well.
so you do have some form of electronic payment that you don't necessarily, but at the end of the day, right now, cash is still king.
But as a person, you prefer to walk with your credit card or debit card or something like that.
Well, it's safer, but you know, when you're making these big purchases or so, but many persons, because you know, many of these shops are cash business. In the sense, people come in, but there's not a lot of electronic transaction for, especially people in rural setting. Unfortunately, that's where we are right now, and to bring them along into a digital, this digital age, because there is this digital divide. To bring them in this digital age is going to take some time. I know the central bank has been here on the couch, and they've spoken about getting this automatic payment in place to kind of eliminate some of the problems that do exist. And I know that platform is being worked on based on the last discussion we had with them. So that certainly is coming, where the whole issue of payment can be far more automatic. You do have that structure in place to transfer, but it's not automatic. There is always a lag time.
Well, if you first of all,
and
the
your
person
checking and vetting is a little bit more
the
clumsy.
person has to have an account to start with. You know, you have to open an account with any of the services that you decide that you prefer to use. You know, and then you have to feed the account, not because you open the account, the money will drop in there automatically.
Well, that's what is supposed to happen.
So you have to feed the account. So maybe from your employer, it goes direct into your account. If you're an employee, you know, it goes direct into your account.
What they want
You
is
take it
where
out
these
electronically.
shops can make the payment immediately, and their people will be able to see.
Yeah, well, they're
right
talking
there.
about that on the business level.
Yeah, because that's what they're
But
pushing
not all
for.
shops will be, well, again, you have large shops and you have small ones, so I guess it's...
So we bring everybody along.
yeah. Love, can I help?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Rennie and Troy.
Morning.
Good morning.
Top of the morning.
Top of the
To
morning.
you, sir. Top of the morning to you, too.
Bless.
Not really the follow this Prime Minister, but I noticed the man, I get to understand from the news that the man come off a plane and get back on the plane and go to Ireland. Is that true? Is that so?
I don't know.
You don't know, you tell me.
I don't know.
No, but other than
No, but I don't
We
know.
can't know everything.
no,
Do you tell me? That's why
Well,
we
you
serve the people.
no,
So no,
no,
put in a spot like we don't serve the people. We serve the people. So tell me.
Yeah, you're saying the Prime Minister has gone. Hold on, Carl. Hold on, man. You can't make a conversation. Are you are you saying?
telling us that?
Are you telling us that the Prime Minister came from Honduras and he has traveled again, went somewhere else? Is that
Oh,
what
you just changed plane
Oh, you're asking? Oh, okay. Well, the short answer for that is I don't know.
I don't know either. As simple as that.
You guys don't know it. So what the Prime Minister there right now?
I do.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they're home. I don't know. Maybe he's on the road traveling.
Well,
I don't know.
So, if it is so, tell her to come back, please. Tell that man, Mr. René Villanueva, give that Prime Minister a call and tell him not come back to the country.
Me ask me for the crazy. No, that's the craziness, man.
Mr. René and Mr. Troy.
I think I'm smarter than that. That's some of the craziness.
You know what I mean, Carla.
Come on, man. Come better on that. Come better on that, Carla.
Yeah.
My brother, come better on that, my brother. If you don't like the Prime Minister, you go tell him that. But not come tell me for tell her that. Tell her your more peace.
You sure the man ignore the media? You sure the man weak, right? Listen to me very carefully.
You
the
just
media
say
are
peace.
part of the problem, Mr. René. You have to hold them accountable. Not make them get like Kunumono. But when they want to run their political nonsense, they come on the radio. They come on the radio station when they want to spew their stupidness, right? But when the time to make their faces place up, they act like they laugh.
Okay.
Like them told up.
That's
You know,
your
that time,
opinion.
they have to go here. That man jump out of a vehicle, come in our next one, jump off a plane, go on next one. That way is.
Hey, Carla, I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
Tell her, Mr. Johnny Viceno, when you jump on a plane, you don't come back to this place.
All right.
We tired of your stupidness. Tell the cabinet too. Make it clear that what cabinet today and not come back, Mr.
All right, then.
Thank you, Carla.
I cut that there because of your opinion. I respect it and I will allow you to voice it. All right, thanks.
When he go,
You don't make your point, Carla.
You repeat yourself
You
now,
repeat
man.
yourself. All right?
All right, Mano. Thanks for the call. The issue here is that if you don't get normally if the Prime Minister leaves the country, they would normally put out these release or so, and then who is holding over and that sort of thing.
I don't read none this morning, so I wouldn't know.
I haven't gotten anything official as well or seen anything official, but so if you ask me the question and I answer you, and you don't like my answer,
Well, then.
what do you want me to do? It's not, that has to be insanity. Because you asked me the question, I said to you, I don't know, and then you make an issue because I don't know. I mean, we don't have to know where the Prime Minister is. That's not our job.
No.
You know, at the end of the day, it is you, the voters. Especially, so you have as much right to ask the question as us.
And to know
as us. Yeah, you have as much right. I only have one vote. You have one vote.
Yeah.
And so we are on the same level here. And if I know, I would have told her yes. The Prime Minister went here or here or here. If it is that we knew.
But why do you feel like when they exaggerate? Hey, you haven't got.
And I will say this that the Prime Minister, in terms of movements and so, they can travel at their own behest in the sense that if there's something, either it's holiday or if it's official business, that's a decision that they make.
Interacting with foreign governments, we don't know.
You don't have like maybe in an employment where you have to apply for your leave and that sort of thing. I guess cabinet members are if you're just member of parliament, like say the opposition, they can do anything they want and travel and do whatever they want. There's no tabs on them. If you're a cabinet minister and because you're being paid now as a minister, you report to the Prime Minister, you would have to get his permission to leave to go somewhere. That's normally, I think, how it would work in terms of proper protocol.
Love, good morning.
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 You're disrespectful of what society gets.
I tell you.
The Prime Minister didn't talk about, you know.
Yeah.
Whether he get power plane off or a plane and come back, get power next plane and go.
We don't know.
The business is the for we
business
vote
is
in
do,
for
we vote on
the
it for that.
business there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, that's quite disrespectful. on social media, really, they promote a lot of them disrespect. Eh?
Yeah.
But the real reason I want to call, I call in this yesterday, I want to ask Mr. Zabane about this Maya rights thing with a road with them built from dump to Halakte.
Mm-hmm.
The Maya then sue Belize for the road because they gone through for their land and they win money off of it. Some million, some 5 million or something they may get for it.
Mm-hmm. I
I don't
recall.
know if you know the fellow
Of
that's
course, you know about that.
Yes, yes, for me. Yeah,
What's the point?
what do you want about it?
Well, that means the road of a Belize. Mr. Reddy, you gone on a road maybe one or
Of
two
course,
times.
I've been on a road several times.
Yet.
I've been
I
on
know
it.
gone on it
I've
yet.
been to
I don't know
Halakte,
if
I've been
try
all over
gone
the
on
place.
it. The people they already use the
A nice road.
the Maya there. Then they see one where they benefit from it because then they one where they traverse the road every day. So the road our asset today. But we, the government, we, the people of Belize, have to pay for the road. I think they should turn it into a toll road to make back the money when them pay back the money when them pay the money. I mean, they say one pay back for it.
Okay.
That's a thought.
That's not you're expressing
I really
feelings.
call it, thanks.
Because I know they use the
Okay.
road every day. I gone there one time, go see the road, go see the place how it look, go see how the road look.
Mm-hmm.
Regular people no use the road. The same guy that were asset to the same guy there. From the back way.
I hear you.
So make them make more money off of the road, make them toll the road and make back the money. From the same area, they will get the money already for the road.
Yeah.
The road pay for, so the road for the government.
Thank you. I hear you.
All right.
Thank you,
I
caller.
heard you. Thank you.
That matter is an appeal.
It's an appeal, so we can't really get into the flesh of it.
Yeah. I understand, and this is I'm getting a little note here and there that these there's an agitation by the Public Service Union. I don't know if that is the right terminology or the right way to structure it, but there's an agitation as it relates to the tax services and in attempting to have people walk out during the course of their work time today. So that I assume that will be some part of breaking news today. That probably the same issue in relation to the SARA, the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority piece of legislation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Minister Charles, love, can I help?
Yes, hello.
Yes, it is.
Yes, go ahead.
That man Carlos now, he when would the Prime Minister of Belize? Nothing good.
Well, your opinion, Carla, but you're entitled to it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
And the time could kidnap people that are no good for the country.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
Thank you.
Okay.
What would they do for Belize? We're not there.
Well, I'll
All
be in that.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
All
Yes,
right.
yes.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're just saying that, I always concerned when we do industrial actions. I always say that I'm my first connection with the union is all the way back. I was a union leader and continued to champion the employees' cause all the time. I will stay on their side up, but I always worry when we take some sort of action that will cost taxpayers money, and you basically, the justification is always very limited, right? And so I'm worried about those things when I hear it. I don't know if it's true, but I hope it's not true, because I believe that the last discussion we had with the union on Monday was a very, very good discussion, and I felt they were on the right track to solving many of the problems that they are concerns they had. That seeming most of the concerns they had was all solvable. Very, very easy in terms of common sense issue. We'll raise it a bit with Minister Usher when he comes in.
Usually you find solutions to problems, because the solution lies it's somewhere in the middle. You're on one extreme, I'm on one extreme. We want to solve a problem, we have to give and
I think
take.
for the most part, we kind of solved most of them
Yeah.
in the discussion. Just for the I's to be dotted and the T's to be crossed, but basically most of the issues, and I can't see any reasonable government or any reasonable individual on the other side of the union having any difficulty with that, because I would stand on their side right away and say, you are being unreasonable for those circumstances. So I would be disappointed if that is the case, for the simple reason that I think that the whole concerns are solvable. I'm just saying that if it is that these snippets that I'm getting of where people are looking to want to walk out, and then when you walk out, for what? To do what? And to what end? And what will you achieve?
Well, actually,
and then
it doesn't help.
It doesn't help, and it's taxpayers paying you.
Yeah. 7 o'clock, Mr. Troy Gab.
Yes, sir. We got to get
Take
paid.
a break and we come right back. It's now 6 minutes past 7 o'clock, las 7 de la mañana con 6 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, good morning, Belize, and thanks for choosing love on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Mr. Troy Gibb.
Yes, it's hump day, Chief,
It's
hump
hump
day.
day, and we have Honorable Henry Charles Usher, Minister of Public Service, Disaster Risk Management and Enterprise, and Fort George area representative. Morning,
And
Minister.
chairman of the People's
And
United.
chairman of the people. Boy, man, we have a lot of hats, you know.
Well, let's put for George representative first, 'cause
Yes.
that's my most important
Yes.
Oh, okay.
responsibility.
Because the people of Fort George never elect you.
Then I would not be sitting in the house and representing them to the best of my ability. But good morning, Renee. Good morning, Troy. And good morning to
Always
Belize.
good having you here.
Yes, I'm always glad to be here to join this national conversation.
Yes,
A conversation on the issues that we have happening right now, and I think it's important that we continue to have these discussions,
Of course.
have these conversations, so we don't get into this back and forth that seems to happen so often where people are shouting at each other. Nothing is achieved then.
Yeah,
We have to
yeah.
be able to talk, we have to be able to rationalize. We are Belizeans, 45 years old this year, and we have to be able to think the long term for our national development.
In the interest of Belize.
And you know, just talking about that, Minister, in terms of having these conversation, very, very important, because Monday when we met with the union and had the conversation with them, it was a very, based on many feedback I got subsequent, was very knowledgeable. It was a very sober discussion, and people got a lot more from it than when you're shouting at each other.
Yes, yes.
And so, you know, based on all the feedback that we got, I think the union scored a lot of points by just having this sort of technical discussion and talking about things from a level standpoint. But this week, of course, is a big week for the People's United Party in terms of the whole build-up of conventions, as we're in convention time. And Belize City, what I call a crown jewel, the mayoral candidacy for the municipal,
Yes.
the Belize City Council comes up this weekend, and it is expected to be a delegate convention, and very, very excited, or heated for that matter.
I don't know, are you a delegate, Troy?
No,
you're
sir,
not
no,
a
sir,
delegate.
no, sir.
Okay, okay, I was just
Thankfully,
making sure.
thankfully, because it would be one of the hardest decision to make.
I understand. No, and you are right, because we have two dynamic candidates running for mayor and very good councillor candidates as
Yes,
well. We
yes.
can't overlook the fact that we have some dynamic persons putting themselves forward to run on a ticket of the People's United Party. So yes, it'll be a very exciting convention on Sunday, but you said it's an exciting week. I call it an exciting month for the
yes.
party, because we have had
yeah,
conventions
been having conventions
from the
the whole
beginning of
month, yeah.
August, and you have seen
Yes.
the turnout in Corozal, in Punta Gorda, in Benque. San Ignacio, Santa Elena was a delegate convention as well. But you see at those three conventions, Corozal, Punta Gorda, and Benque, you see these turnouts, you see the support, you see persons coming out and voting for the candidate of their choice. And that what shows you that the work has been paying off in terms of the results being seen at these conventions, both in all of these municipalities. So, you know, congratulations to all the winners that we've had so far in these conventions. And of course, it is now time for everyone to come together and focus on March of 2027, which is the
That would have
municipal
been my
election.
next question as
Yeah.
to, as the chairman of the party,
Yeah,
how do
already-
you go about,
oh, yeah.
how you go about bringing back that unity? Because usually when you have convention, you have your
It's
sort
split.
of political
And
fallout.
Yeah.
who loses is always...
Of course, conventions
That's
always
really
have their own dynamics, and you know, there's always a side that feels a little bit hurt after a convention. But they are all members of the People's United Party. These persons who applied, who have offered themselves, and they have all pledged to work with the candidate that won, with the team that won. So in terms of the work that the party has been doing, it has been structured work from earlier this year. We started this process. We had a meeting of the national executive. We opened the window for persons to apply. We then had the application process, the vetting process, and then the setting of the dates for the conventions. Some areas are having endorsement conventions, and those will come later on this year. And then, of course, the ones that we had to have elections in, we're completing that this Sunday. And yes, this Sunday here in Belize City, we do have a delegate convention for the mayor and for the councillor candidates that will be representing the party in March of 2027.
Quick question, as it relates to your division and Pickstock that didn't get, actually had an election. How is the assignment of
Sure.
delegates being done for that?
As you rightly asked, Troy, in terms of what the constitution of our party says, Now, that the determination of delegates is 1 for every 25 votes received at the last election. Now, that refers to an election at a national convention. So that is the formula used at a national convention.
National election.
National convention, we're looking for all of the
Okay.
different executive posts of the
Okay.
party. It's also used for special conventions at the national level.
Okay.
Now, in terms of the formula at the local level, we try to use that same formula, 1 for 25, but it's not specified. Different conventions have different rules at the local level, maybe at the municipal level, the constituency level, even at the village council level, because even at village council level, you might have more than one person offering themselves to run for the party, and in that case, sometimes they have very small internal elections to determine who that the winning team
Last
would
one
be.
had a flip a coin.
Yes.
At that time.
No, well, I remember in Sokot's village, we had 2 very strong teams. This is village council election now, running, both wanting to run under the People's United Party. Now, we don't have a formalized procedure for village council convention, so we had to determine how we would do it, and it was done internally, and the team that won got the support from the other team. The point I'm making is that the Constitution speaks about the national level. At this particular level, when we had the delegate convention approved for Belize City, as you rightly said, there are 2 constituencies that did not have any elections last year. There were some who were saying that maybe those constituencies should get 100% because that they won 100% of the vote.
Yeah.
Of course, that would not have been fair. And of course, there was the opposite side of that, saying that, well, if there's no election, you'll get 0. And again, you don't want to disenfranchise any persons any party supporters from any constituency from being able to participate in this convention. The idea also is to have a broad-based convention, meaning you have as much as possible. The People's United Party has the most representation and participation at the convention level of any political party in this country. At this municipal convention for Belize City is bigger than the UDP's national convention.
And
that is how broad-based and participatory this
Based on their
particular process
constitution,
is.
as I read it the last time, it doesn't jump 600.
No, it's a little around. It's around 600.
Yeah,
Yes, in this case we have 787. So instead of saying, okay, look at the extremes, 100, 0, a decision was made to say, all right, let us look at the voter turnout in the election and the margin of victory that was, suspected in or projected in these 2 constituencies. So that was the formula that was used.
Okay.
And I think that even using that formula, it was probably a little lower. Why? Because those 2 constituencies, Pickstock especially, and Fort George, we have very high turnouts.
Yeah.
So using the national turnout level was lower than what we would have been received in those 2 areas, more than likely, right?
Yeah.
So I think that even at that, using that formula, probably it was a little less than what would have been.
But it got accepted by.
So this is the way going forward. Yeah.
So it's I'll say, where will the convention be?
Sunday at the IT vet, starting at 9 a.m.
9 until 4 or 5?
Remember, it's delegates, so there are slots for each constituency. So I think that each constituency drew straws and determined who would vote first, and then you have a time period when each constituency can go in and vote.
Okay. So it's not willy-nilly all over the place.
No. So let's say if a delegate does not reach for that constituency during they can still vote, but we want to at least have all of Pickstock, all of Collett, all of Fort George, of Lake I vote together so that the process can go smoothly.
How is the tallying and counting of the votes done?
Just like any other election, you have ballot papers and people will be there.
700, 1 hour.
The candidates will be allowed to have scrutineers, will be allowed to have counters. You have the official counters working the team, and then you count the ballots.
And they can challenge any.
Well, just like any election, all the rules apply.
700, 1 hour. Easy come.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Though.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, there are, how many, 19 candidates for councillors, so that might take a little while. The mayoral race shouldn't take too long to count, but the councillor candidate race, you have 19 because persons aren't going to vote, I don't believe are going to vote straight down the line. They'll be choosing their candidates based on who they want to support.
Yeah.
So that might take a little longer, but yeah, an hour and a half, we should be completed.
Should be interesting Sunday.
Yes.
And so when you look at the entire landscape now going forward, so we could wrap up on the political discussion. At what point in time would all the slates be in place and the whole concept of campaigning, one would say, officially start?
So we had set a timeline at the national executive level to have all the slates in place by our party's birthday, which is September the 29th. So hopefully we have all 9, well, I don't know if the endorsement conventions probably will happen after, but we know who the teams are. We know who will be in San Pedro, for instance, who will be in Dangriga, who will be the team in Belmopan, in Orange Walk. These areas already have their slates. They just have not had that swearing process, the endorsement convention as yet.
Okay.
But all 9 we want to have in place by our party's birthday, and then of course after September is a month we celebrate Belize. So after September we get into campaign mode and we start to focus towards March of 27.
Excellent. Now, looking at the issues as it relates to the government, and specifically in terms of your ministry, the Ministry of the Public Service in particular, and we'll touch on some of the other areas, but presently we're having the discussion as it relates to the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority, and we're looking at the wider public service. There is some thought, and maybe we put that to rest, that maybe government was considering some sort of shrinking of the public service, or using the bad word like retrenchment and all of that.
Also.
So we kind of want to put that whole concept.
Question straight up. Try.
Yeah, that's a
any
concept.
retrenchment in mind?
The UDP is the party of retrenchment, Rene and Troy. Let's be very clear. The People's United Party believes in making sure that our public service is complete, that our public service works for the betterment of our country, for our citizens, for our visitors, and we are here to make sure Belizeans have the jobs, to do the jobs in the public service. And that is part of the process that we're doing. The modernization of the public service was included, or is included, in Plan Belize. And it is something that we've been working on from the first time the Prime Minister assigned me the portfolio of public service. That is what has been guiding me, the Plan Belize initiatives to modernize the public service. And that is where we've been focused on. And we've had a number of discussions with our partner, with the unions. And, despite what the media tries to portray, we have a very good relationship with the unions, with the PSU, with the APSSM, with the BNTU. We have very constructive discussions with them when we meet with them at the joint union level. And we try to make sure that we know what our goals are going forward. There are times when we have disagreements, of course. Nobody agrees on everything. But the idea, the overall objective is to make sure that the public service is operating in the most efficient way. And that is where we want to go.
Because the wage bill keeps going up, right?
The wage bill keeps going up. And
so the streamlining,
how
will that take place?
So
to stem that.
So recently, Love FM covered this. There was the IDB Civil Service Modernization Project, the loan motion that was approved in the House. And that loan motion is to assist the public service in a number of areas. Some of the challenges that we were faced in the public service was we kept spending more than was budgeted in terms of the wage bill. So every year you go through a budget exercise. Part of that budget exercise is to determine what your staff needs are. But during the course of the year, sometimes there are new projects that come in, or maybe an under-assessment was done in terms of staff needs. And so that exercise needed assistance to make sure that we were able to stay within those guidelines. Secondly, there was varied compensation for the same job categories, which is an issue. Well, I think it's also in the private sector, but certainly in the public sector, it creates a lot of anomalies. One of the overall objectives of this project is equal pay for equal work. If you are doing the same work, you should be getting the same pay. But because of different anomalies in the system with increments, and when persons come in and maybe they have different levels of education, etc., there were areas where persons were being paid differently but doing the same job. That creates animosity between workers. I'm doing the same as you, but I'm being paid less than you, or vice versa. So that was another area. Number 3, we had to look at an integrated HR management system. An integrated digitized HR management system that is in sync, communicating with the financial management system, meaning the smart stream. You know, because those two systems have to be able to work together. Along with that, you have to look at areas like digital security, cyber security, the whole digital process, the digitization of the personnel files for public officers. These are all areas that we're working on under this project, and I'm very happy that we were able to get this thing through the House and to get it approved. Why? Because this will help in terms of the Ministry of Public Service being able to provide services to our service, the recipients of our service, public officers, because MPS is the HR arm of government. So we work on behalf of public officers, and we have to be able to provide better services to them when they want to apply for leave, when they want to apply to be transferred to a different post, promotions, etc. These processes will now be digitized. You'll be able to track your file easier so that at the time when you retire, there won't be these issues where something might be missing from your file and there are delays in you collecting your gratuity or your pension. These are all areas that we're trying to improve, and we're trying to work towards the system that is the best public service possible.
What's the position of the open vote workers?
So we have to.
That's a huge.
That's you know, and that's a very that's a long discussion that we would have to have, because the concept of an open vote worker has changed over time. Open vote workers were paid in the past from allocation from the budget, an open allocation.
Subhead 4 used to be.
Right. So remember, in the public service, in government, you call it a vote. You vote for this, you vote for that.
Subhead 4.
So you have an open vote. And these were for workers who were brought in temporarily. You have a road project, you need to bring in extra workers. They don't have long-term or established posts. So they're paid from this open allocation. You might have an issue with, let's say, when COVID happened, or another health issue, and you have to bring in extra workers. These are temporary workers that are paid from this budget. Over time, that has changed, unfortunately, and we have to get back to that system, because anytime somebody is brought in, and let's say the post requires an associate's degree, and this person does not have an associate's degree, they bring them in on an open vote capacity. But in reality, that's not what it should be. It should be for temporary workers being paid from a specific allocation of the budget. If you have a post and this person has been working in this ministry for multiple years, that's no longer an open vote. That's no longer temporary. We need to create the post.
But the case doesn't exist, though, that there are many.
Oh, there are many.
Cases,
you have persons working in an open vote capacity for 9, 10, 13 years. Now, if you need that person for so long, that means you should have asked a long time ago to create the post. And we're going through that exercise as well. We're looking at that to see how we can streamline that process to create those posts, to make sure that if you are hired by the government for multiple years, it means you know how to do the job.
And you're being paid, or you're not getting the pension and the benefits.
And so every year, let's say every year when you do your staffing needs, you have these posts, you have a certain number of posts, but then you have open vote workers. So in reality, your posts should be more. The organizational chart should be expanded because you need more posts.
But in some cases, there are duplications as well, right? Where the person is working, but you get somebody on open vote just because you want to get that person.
Well, there are a few instances like that. Similar, if somebody goes on leave, somebody goes on a study leave or a maternity leave, and you bring in somebody temporarily, they're paid from open vote. But then when the person comes back from leave, you don't want to send the person home, so you say, okay, let's keep them. Okay, I don't have that. There's no problem with that. But then we have to create a post for that person because they're just held there without a post.
And you believe the whole concept of the modernization will be able to at least weed out some of those situations as you go through this exercise at this point in time?
That is the hope. That is the hope that we can, and we've already started that, to go into these ministries and say, okay, you have this number of open vote workers. Are these posts are all posts that are working in your ministry, in your department? Okay, then let's create those posts so that these persons have that permanency, these persons are established, and these persons understand now that they're no longer on this temporary position where we're not sure
Any
what the,
day now.
situation
Would
is.
you have to close the window then for re-employment of an open vote? Because you make all those people permanent, and then you're still going to hire people on open vote and bring them in.
That is exactly the issue that has
So
been
how
happening.
you close that window?
Because in the past, this exercise is not new. This has happened before in previous administrations where they did the conversion to permanent posts. But then what happened? We started to hire open vote
To hire
workers.
open vote again.
So it takes some discipline, it takes political will, and that's why it's important that we digitize these systems so that it can happen, so that you can't just bring in persons and then the system will then
Well,
say,
disallow if I'm getting paid, so when you can't get paid, then there's a problem.
Unless it's a temporary basis,
Yeah,
and that's really what the open vote workers should be for. So it is hoped that by doing this, you kind of instill that discipline, instill that will to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
As you sit there, Minister, do you have an idea how many people are on open vote, or how many, more or less, what percentage is on
The last exercise or analysis we did had it at around,
permanent to open vote?
there were about 1,100 open vote workers.
1,100.
Yes.
Yeah. Minister Chief, touch base on one of those elephants in the room is the pension reform and maybe retirement age extension as well in the same conversation. Where you see that going, or where are we right now, and where you see that whole discussion going? Because the more we hear about it, it is going to be unsustainable over a period of time, and we're going to have it's a consistent drain on the budget.
Correct. So this is a discussion that has been at the top of all discussions at the joint union level when it comes to pension, because as you rightly said, the projection is that it will reach a point where it is unsustainable. And that's why these exercises have to be done. When you look at pension, there are three areas that you look at. You look at the retirement age, you look at the contributory rate, and you look at what's called the replacement rate. The retirement age right now is 55 years. The proposal is to take it up to 60 years, perhaps incrementally, meaning 56, 57, etc. For new workers, of course, coming in, new cohorts, it would automatically be 60. But of course, you have persons working already. Currently, in terms of contribution, it's 0% coming from the employees. It's 100% from GOB. That's an area that we still have to have some discussion on in terms of what would be the contribution rate from the employees to make it a sustainable system. Third, the replacement rate. Now, Belize's public service benefit from both a government pension and when they reach a certain age, pension from Social Security. It's unique in the Caribbean and unique for most of the world where both pensions systems apply to public officers. In the private sector, you only have, if your company doesn't have some kind of private pension program, the only pension you can benefit from is Social Security. Now, I think the Social Security replacement rate, if I'm correct, is 34%. Is that accurate?
So,
or maybe 37%, something to, at that area. In the government sector, the replacement rate is 67%. So,
put the two together, almost.
for argument's sake, it must be 27. Sorry, I was overstating Social Security because together you're looking at 94% in terms of the replacement rate when you reach
the replacement rate, meaning that you're getting almost the same salary as you were being paid while you were employed.
So yes, so this is the replacement for your salary.
For your salary.
So in the government sector, if you reach the maximum pensionability, and there's a formula for that, it would be 67% of your last salary. So if you were making $3,000 a month, your pension would be 2/3 of that. So what would be what, 16, 67, something to that effect.
Yeah, which is
You are making that. Now, kicking in Social Security, and then of course there's also a formula there. You could be making very close to that $3,000 a month from your last salary in terms of a pension. So we have to look at how we can perhaps reduce the replacement rate to make it more sustainable. Of course, keeping the Social Security rate so that you would be more in line with the rest of the world, Where the rest of the world is, they're probably around 67% to total.
Okay.
You take the replacement rate down to say 50% plus the Social Security, you're still at 77%, meaning that you're still making more than most of the other systems around, certainly in the Caribbean. But these are discussions that we're still having with the unions, and it is ongoing. But they recognize that we have to have something more sustainable, because currently, as you've pointed out, the projection is that it will reach a point where you can't sustain it anymore. And no matter what you do, the revenues will not be able to sustain the wage bill. And that, we don't want to reach that point.
And not only that, it's an old discussion as well.
No, this has been going on for 20-something years. I mean, for a very long time.
At 55, age 55 to 65 or 60.
Right.
You know, because I think the 55 was set because it would allow people who from overseas, like particularly from the UK in the old colonial days, to reach 55 and go back home and
right.
be productive.
So what we've done at the joint,
so we need to
right.
raise that.
What we've done at the joint union level, Troy, is that we have established some subcommittees to be looking at different areas. We have the Revenue Enhancement Committee, we have the Cost Saving Measures Committee, and the Pension Reform Committee. And I have to say, the work being done by all of these committees, but let me focus on pension reform. The work being done has been very, very good. Very good recommendations coming from all of these committees. But at the pension reform level, you have had persons doing a lot of work in terms of looking at actuaries, looking at the different legislations that will have to be amended when it comes to pension, looking at different proposals, because there are multiple proposals that we're looking at in terms of these three areas that I just spoke about. And it is something that we hope to have this presentation made to the cabinet, so that our members of cabinet can see exactly what this is. Because a lot of people feel that it's very easy. Oh, just implement this. No, that's not the case. It's a process that takes a lot of time, discussion, communication, and reaching a consensus.
You have to be a consensus on it.
Right.
It's 33 minutes past 7 o'clock, and we're going to get a consensus here from ourselves.
You get a consensus?
We're going to take a break and come right back.
You're listening to Love FM. We now take a look at the weather forecast brought to you by forecaster Derek Rudon at the National Met Service. Good morning.
Good morning. Some showers affected mainly the south last night, with showers and light rain currently along the coast of the southern districts. Relatively moist and unstable conditions prevail over our area in association with a weak tropical wave and will support somewhat showery weather today. The 24-hour forecast is for sunny skies with cloudy spells today and cloudy skies at times tonight. A few showers and thunderstorms will affect most areas this morning, but especially southern and central portions of the country, with shower activity decreasing this afternoon. Tonight, a few showers or thunderstorms will develop mainly over the south. Winds over the open sea will be from the east at 10 to 15 knots, and the seas will be light chop. Near heavy showers and thunderstorms, however, winds will become gusty and the seas locally rough. Operators of small crafts should exercise caution. Maximum temperatures today will be around 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 93 inland, but only 80 up in the mountains. The outlook for Thursday and Thursday night is for partly cloudy skies with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly over the south. There is a high tide at 8:35 this morning, and the low follows at 10 minutes to 4 this evening. Another high is at 9:38 tonight, and another low at 3:04 tomorrow morning. The sun rose at 5:37 this morning and will set at 6:10 this evening. The moon comes up at 5:22 this evening and goes down at 5 minutes after 5 tomorrow morning. In the tropical weather outlook, an area of low pressure located a few hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands now has a medium chance of becoming a tropical depression during the next day or two, while it moves westward to west-northwestward across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. This system poses no threat to Belize. In the sargassum update, there is a high chance that more sargassum mats could drift ashore, producing moderate to major impacts over coastal destinations across the country during the next few days. With that, we end this report from the Belize Weather Bureau.
As a sheetrock installer for Decor Construction, I know the job is only as good as the materials I use. Using inferior products can lead to more
It's now 18 and a half minutes to 8 o'clock. 8 días y 8 minutos. It's Piquita. Buenos días. Good morning, Belize. And thanks for choosing love on a beautiful Wednesday morning, which is Troy's Day.
It's hump day.
Dia del humpo, man.
Yes, hump day. Getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
We're, of course, speaking with Honorable Henry Charles Usher, the Minister of Public Service, Disaster Risk Management and Enterprise, and as he mentioned, I should have said first, the Fort George area representative, and of course the chairman of the People's United Party. But coming back quickly to the Ministry of the Public Service, the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority bill was read in the House on Friday, and created a bit of stir, especially from the unions. We had them here on Monday, and they kind of said, well, maybe they were taken off guard. But what's the general view going forward in terms of that particular authority being set up as a quasi, or as I say, semi-autonomous structure?
Correct. So if we step back a little bit in terms of the reform for the tax service, this is something that started in the previous administration when they amalgamated. Remember, there was the Income Tax Department, the Business Tax Department,
yes,
GST, and they amalgamated into one, the Belize Tax Service. That was the beginning of the reform process. This is the next step in that reform process to now create a revenue authority, whether it was autonomous or semi-autonomous was the discussion. The decision was made to go with semi-autonomous.
Okay.
That's number one. But in any reform initiative, you have to be able to analyze and assess where you are and if the step one was successful or not. And that is something that I think was very important, that we look at whether the amalgamation worked. Because remember, in the beginning, even though they were amalgamated, they were still like three separate departments.
Yeah.
So it's not like you had cross-training, it's not like you had persons being able to move from one department to the next under the umbrella of the Belize Tax Service. You still had an income tax, you still had GST, etc. I think that process had to be looked at and an analysis done to see whether savings were made. Because remember, the overall goal of this reform is to make the tax service, one, more efficient, meaning the application of taxes more efficient, and two, to make sure that you are able to close those loopholes when it comes to collecting the taxes. So that was one area. Another area is the issue of digitizing the system, and you guys were speaking about this before I came on, looking at that digital divide, looking at areas of the country that you don't yet have that ability to make payments digitally, being able to have these systems that are digitized where you don't have to be writing out receipts or anything like that. That is important as well, that we achieve that, because that will assist safety concerns, as I believe Boeing raised yesterday with when one of their collecting trucks was at an attempted robbery or a robbery. I'm not sure the details. But also when it comes to individual citizens having faith in or confidence in the system, knowing that what they're paying for is being applied equally and being applied in a way that then goes back to the tax service. So that digital divide has to be bridged, and we are able to digitize all of the services. The next level is getting to this revenue authority. Now, when it comes to that, and I share the concerns of the union, because I have issues or concerns about how we're going to transition into this authority without having all of the different mechanisms in place.
Okay.
Of course, you have to have the legislation. The legislation is the framework for what you need to do. But you also, under that legislation, you have to be able to have certain areas. And let me focus on the human resource aspect of it. You have workers at the Belize Tax Service, government employees that need to either transition into the wider government service or be rehired by the Revenue Authority, and what will be the procedure for that. And I think we still have not reached a definitive plan for that as yet, and that is what concerns me, because as we move forward in terms of this reform, we can't allow the employees of the tax service to be in any way unfairly treated.
No.
And I think that is, as Minister of Public Service, that is something that I'm very keen on, to make sure that they're treated equally that they get the information that they need, that they're able to make an informed decision about what they want to do with their professional career, either stay in the newly created Revenue Authority or go into the wider public service, or maybe leave the public service altogether and go into the private sector. Maybe some of them will choose that. The point is they have to be able to get that information to make an informed decision. I don't believe that they are at that point yet. So that is where I have to continue to do work, and I need the support of the union to get that work done. And that's why, as I said, we have a good working relationship. We have discussed these issues. I have raised these concerns at multiple levels to say we need to make sure we have a plan. How many officers will be going into the wider public service? Can the Ministry of Public Service find posts for these persons to come into the public service?
Okay.
That is an area that we certainly need to have a definitive plan on before we can implement the authority fully.
It's interesting and comforting, and I'm sure from the tax officers' standpoint, listening to you, because that's one of the feedback we were getting, that there was a level of uncertainty that seemed to be coming together to some extent, but we did hear that there's some disgruntlement even today. I received little snippets here and there, screenshots and so, of the possibility of them doing some sort of industrial action today, i.e. I think it's a walkout or something they were planning. I'm hoping that that's not the case, because what you're saying here is certainly comforting, in the sense that we're going to be looking at these things.
It's not finalized yet.
I was made to understand. I was made to understand that the salaries or the benefits and so that going into SARA has been established now and is being disseminated or shared with the officers, so they could start to make up their mind.
Correct.
Which side or what it is that they would want to do, because as we had pointed out to the union on Monday, it's the same thought that I had, that you're dealing with individuals on a one-on-one basis and their lives are going to be disrupted. That's and we have to consider that, and we can't just think as them as machines or something. They're human beings. So I'm glad to know that from that standpoint, your concern is the same as mine and theirs.
So I'm glad to hear that information is being shared with them, maybe at an individual level, but it also has to be done at the level of their representatives.
Right.
They are represented by a union, and that union has to be included in these discussions, and I think that is the area that especially the PSU has felt that they have not been getting the proper information. Remember, they have their membership. Maybe not all tax officers are members of the union, but when a union is out there representing their members, the benefits they get are applied to even their non-members.
Right.
So it's important that there is that partnership, and I encourage the management of the Belize Tax Service to include the unions in any of these discussions. Let them get all of the information, let them share that information with their membership, and be upfront. Let them know what's going on. And I think that was the area of concern that they had, that there was a lot of things happening, decisions being made without their knowledge. And because of that, people get concerned. Whenever things are happening and they don't know about it, people will get concerned. But from the Ministry of Public Service side, my job and CEO Zetina's job and all of our jobs at MPS is to make sure that these tax officers, all of the employees of the Belize Tax Service, are given the information, that they're able to make an informed decision, that they are not unfairly treated. And for those that come into the wider public service, well, I'm going to have to go to the cabinet and say, well, these are the persons who want to come. We need to create the posts. I'm going to need the budget to create these posts too. So that's an area that we have to work on. But the legislation, and I think what happened Friday was the second reading. So it now goes to the Senate because it has been passed in the House. And I'm sure there will be a robust debate at the Senate when it comes to this particular bill. And I think that there may be areas that might need to go back to the House, amendments, etc. So I anticipate that, similar to the OSH bill, where it got a robust debate in the Senate. I'm happy it was able to pass eventually, because that's a very important piece of legislation for the workers of this country.
Yeah, a whole education process to implement now.
Of course.
Because you pass these bills and people are not aware of the implications.
And that's a very good point, Rene.
You have to educate
follow-up to the passage of these bills are as important as the passage of the bill.
Yeah, exactly.
because you have to be able to follow up. You have to be able to have this sensitization process exercise throughout the country.
You can't take it for
to
granted the
explain what
public
is
know,
there.
because you're passing.
Right, because look at the trade license bill, for instance. That took a lot of time to get passed. Why? Because people were concerned, and concerns are healthy, because it allows proper discussions, and it allows us to see there may be a better way of doing something. So I anticipate this bill will get robust debate in the Senate, and we're looking to see what exactly proposals will be made.
Yes.
In terms of my side, again, it's looking at the workers, making sure they are treated fairly.
Excellent. Well, Minister, very quickly, switching gears a little bit, you were recently in Taiwan, looking at all of the various systems they have that relates to your ministry, especially
Emergency
disaster preparedness,
Yeah.
because they're always faced with some of the same issues that we have.
Yeah, they are in a earthquake belt, typhoon belt, so they have a very mature and very advanced disaster risk management system. Yes, so I have to say thanks to the government of Taiwan for the invitation to allow me to go over there to look at some very important areas when it comes to my portfolio. I was able to visit the Civil Service Development Institute. Now, this is I was very impressed with their level of training for their civil servants, public officers, as we call them in Belize, especially at the senior level. Now, they have training for junior officers, middle level officers, and a very robust civil, senior level training officers, because they believe that heads of department, persons that reach the top level in terms of management, have to get proper training, not only in the technical area that they are in, but in leadership skills, in management skills, in the ability to manage a portfolio or manage a project from start to finish. They get this training, and this is an area that I want to work with the Association of Public Sector Senior Managers, the APSSM, to see how we can get some training for our senior public officers in this level. Maybe it could be online, maybe it could be in person, and so on, but it's important that our heads of department, it's important that at the highest level, our finance officers, our administrative officers get proper training in different areas other than their technical areas.
Yeah, you're right, because most of the time we focus on your paper qualifications and most of the other capacities like leadership, and so we kind of not put a lot of emphasis on. So it's meaningful to have that kind of exposure and training as well.
And as René knows, we have signed MOUs with Galen University, the Ministry of Public Service, to provide different specified modules to public officers. For instance, one that I was very proud of was the election and boundaries module. Why? Because we had a lot of assistant registering officers in that department who were not able to go to the next level to become a registration officer because it requires a bachelor's degree. Many of them didn't have bachelor's degree. What was happening was persons with bachelor's degree would come in, get the RO post, but the same assistant would have to train them in their post. The same assistant who has what they call a paper ceiling, right? Because they are blocked from going up because they don't have a bachelor's degree. And they still have to train the persons who come in. So, and CEO
Zettina. Can be demoralizing.
Of course, certainly it is. And CEO Zettina and I had a long discussion. We worked very closely with Dr. Aird to see how we could come up with a specialized training for these AROs. We would make it equivalent to a bachelor's degree, right? So that they are able to now go from the ARO to RO, and so that is one area. We also have MOU with UB that they have created an online platform so that public officers are able to get training online at their own time, asynchronous, so that they don't have to take leave from work. We want to try to create even more opportunities for public officers through this institute, through the civil service training program that Taiwan offers, so that they can also be able to do that. The institute also has a lot of training when it comes to AI, and I think that is something that we have to train our public officers in. The use of AI as a tool, because a lot of people are concerned that AI will take their jobs. But really, if we are looking at AI as a tool to make you do your job better, and you can understand that, then maybe some of that fear will go away. So that was one of
That's
the areas that I visited. The second area, as you rightly said, was in the portfolio of disaster risk management. Now, I really want to take the National Fire Service to the next level. I feel like in terms of uniformed services, they have kind of gotten the short end of the stick.
True.
We always get a lot of training opportunities for BDF, for Coast Guard, for police.
You don't hear much of
But you
fire
don't get a lot of
Well,
training.
you don't see them as a
service.
uniform service.
But they are.
And
They are a part
yeah.
of our uniform
How
service.
about the headquarters, Minister, and the new headquarters?
I'll get into that right now.
Okay.
But I was able to visit the National Fire Training Academy. Man, that place is incredible. It's the third biggest in the world. Taiwan has the third biggest in the world. And just about any type of training that a fireman or firewoman needs, they provide. Because they have simulations for every type of fire, from buildings to scooters catching fire, vehicles, planes. It is incredible in terms of what they provide. EMT, water rescue, plane rescue. I mean, it really is a lot. So I was able to visit the academy, speak to the director, take a tour and see areas, and they are very, very willing. They can't wait. They're excited for Belizean Fire Service personnel to be able to go over there and get this training. So that's what we're hoping to do very soon to get the proper training for our fire service. Now, when it comes to National Fire Headquarters,
Yeah.
the last administration, the UDP administration, sold the fire station, the fire headquarters, with no plan. We still don't know where that money went, but so be it. We were elected. We have to get the job done. We have been able to secure the location for the National Fire Headquarters,
where would it be?
very close to the Eleanor Hall building.
Oh, yeah,
we have some land
movement there.
designated for the National Fire Headquarters there. And the next step, we have gotten some architects to put together a proposal in terms of how the headquarters will look. Next step, of course, is to get the funding, and we're very close to securing the funding and starting that project in 2027. So I'm very excited by that, so we can have a proper National Fire Headquarters. And this headquarters will not only be the administrative headquarters, we hope to include a fire station in that headquarters, the training center for our firemen at that headquarters, the mechanical yard for our fire trucks at that headquarters, and perhaps barracks and maybe different areas in one compound. We will continue to have fire stations around the country. We have two in Belize City, one on the north side, one on the south side. We will continue to have both of those. And of course, all of the fire stations countrywide, but we have to have a proper headquarters and training academy for our firefighters. That's why I say we have to take the level of this uniform service to the level of the other uniform
Yes,
service.
we need to start to see them in the parades and all of these
Of
things.
course,
that
of course.
normally,
That used to be
yes,
big.
yes,
once upon a
not
time.
only to run the fire
Yeah.
engine and
Fire engine parade, yeah.
There was high visibility at one time.
But of course, that will continue too. The fire engine parade is a staple of the September celebration, so we'll continue to have the fire engine parade.
Your new addition recently, Enterprise. Give us a little insight of what you find and if there's any shifting or changes that occurred since your time.
First of all, the Prime Minister said it's only temporary, and I'm hoping it can be temporary so I can really focus again on these big projects that we're doing in the other portfolios. But really, it is a portfolio that deals with looking at compliance issues, regulatory issues when it comes to the free zones. The daily operations of the free zones, they have their own board, they have their CEO, they have their team. So the ministry doesn't have anything to do with that. But we make sure that in terms of policy, in terms of regulations, in terms of working with our partners, and of course, the issue of the different patrols that happen in the zone, we make sure that continues, working with the BDF, working with the Coast Guard, working with the police. So it's more of a policy outlook rather than an operational one.
Of course, your next portfolio, because I know we want to take some calls after the break. The next portfolio, of course, will be hurricane preparedness.
Yes. Well, of course, we are well in the middle of hurricane
in the middle of the season
right now. But we continue to stay alert, keep prepared, make sure that NEMO is on the call, on the ready if anything happens. So in terms of the preparations that started months ago, so that we could be prepared for June 1st, be prepared for making sure that all of the different committees were meeting, putting their plans in place. As you know, Troy, there are different committees that deal with search and rescue, or deal with evacuation, etc., deal with relief. These committees have their plans in place, and we are ready. So we continue to monitor, continue to work with the National Met Service, National Hydrology Service, so that we can know exactly. Again, a lot of investment has gone into early warning. A lot of investment has gone into making sure that communities are prepared. We have the community emergency response teams that have been educated, have been trained. We did one graduation in Toledo last year. A few weeks ago, we did one in San Antonio, that the Albion Island area, San Antonio, Santa, in that area, and we continue to do that. Another area that I visited in Taiwan, Troy, and this is big. We were looking. We went to expo for robotics, a robotics expo. My wife accompanied me on this trip. She's the president of Belize Robotics Federation. She's also looking at different areas where she can take robotics into the schools, teach teachers, teach students, create a robotics ecosystem in Belize, meaning that you are able to have different applications. We went to what was called Future Taiwan, a robotics expo. Incredible the developments in robotics, looking at logistics, Amazon type thing with the robotic arms, down to quality assurance. These robotics are able to determine if there are any flaws in any of the products that are coming out. Incredible application for robotics. But in the disaster risk management, we're looking at how we can implement a drone system so that we can use those drones to be able to go and do assessments, search and rescue, try to locate persons who are missing. Look at when there's a flood, able to go over the flooded area and make a damage assessment. The drone has the capacity, the capability to do a damage assessment by just flying over the particular area. So that was another sector that I visited when I was over there, and hopefully we can be able to see some kind of development there as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and the whole issue of robotics. I saw the Ministry of E-Governance had issued a kit to one of the schools, and they said they will continue to do.
So just quickly, the Ministry of E-Governance signed an MOU with Belize Robotics Federation and a robotics company out of the US called VEX. And this is part of that initiative to get more robotics kits in schools, UB, and at the tertiary and the high school level, and be able to train teachers in the use of this. I want to, we want to have the discussion at BNTU and with the Ministry of Education so that this training can provide some professional development hours for these teachers.
Exactly.
So that they're able to keep up with their licensing requirements and so on.
Because the world is shifting, so we have to be shifting with it.
Correct.
Well, it's 4 minutes after 8, Chief.
Yeah, we'll take the break. And Minister say he wants to feel a few calls.
Yes.
Of course. So it's always good.
So when you come back, Minister, maybe before we get the calls, you'll get your views on where we are as it relates to the BTL situation that recently occurred, the Ministry of Defense situation as well.
Sure.
That's ongoing audits as well. And then we take the break at 5 minutes after 8, Chief.
Yes, we'll be right back.
Cada conexión
9 minutes past 8 o'clock, 8:09 minutos en nuestros estudios. Buenos días, good morning, Belize. And we continue our discussion with Minister Henry Charles Usher. He wants the lines open, Mr. Troy Gab, so we will do that.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
thank you for agreeing to that, Minister, because I always like open lines, you know. So
As I said, this is a national conversation.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be a conversation just between three people.
Yeah. So we want to join in.
Just talk, no, but
Just,
yeah,
just before the break, and maybe just before you went away, the BTL issue, acquisition of Smart was a fermenting situation. And then subsequently, Cabinet had decided to reject the purchase. What's your view from that and the general fallout, and what you felt politically is the impact of something like that?
You know, when this proposal first came into the public domain, I had expressed my reservations about it because I felt that the information, and I am a big fan of getting information. I always believe that people have to make informed decisions. In this particular case, I think that the proposal, the information surrounding the proposal was not being shared enough, especially with the ultimate beneficiaries of this company, of BTL. The people of Belize, they needed to know what was the information. So the cabinet decision, it's a decision that I certainly supported, and it's a decision that came out of an informed position. And I think that is important. When the Prime Minister asked the different entities to make presentations to Cabinet, that was important. There had been developments since January and February when it came to BTL being declared a dominant provider, when it came to proposals or proposed amendments to the Telecommunications Act. And so we wanted to hear from PUC, we wanted to hear from the Social Security Board and from BTL. And of course, we wish we were able to hear from the different, from the NTUCB as well and the Chamber of Commerce, but we couldn't work out the logistics on that. But the decision was made. I think that it was made public on the Thursday, I believe. And it was a decision that came out of consensus, and it's a decision that I supported. Now, you ask what's next, and I think, again, we have to be upfront with the Belizean people about what's next. I saw someone comment, because I think the unions were demanding that all of the government business had to go to BTL. Okay, that's fine, but you can't be for competition on Monday and then be for monopoly on Tuesday, right? Competition is competition. And now you have two providers. You continue to have two providers, and they will be able to bid for these services. I can tell you from the Ministry of Public Service perspective, in 2021, we were able to get proposals from both BTL and Smart, and we went with BTL. The proposal from BTL was better in terms of the services they were providing to the Ministry of the Public Service. We want to make sure that we get the best service, the most reasonable and valuable service we could get. We don't want to overexpend. And so we got these proposals, and we decided to go with BTL. That decision will have to be made now by the new procurement unit that government has.
Let's take the call then. Love, can I help?
Yes, good morning, Chief. Good morning, Troy.
Morning.
Good morning to Minister Usher, Giovanni Brackett here.
Morning.
Morning, Giovanni.
Yes, so I won't be long. I used to work at Treasury Department a couple of years ago. I'll say a couple. One thing that I had an experience with a very elderly gentleman that came to the records room. You know, back then I think the minister is aware that they have these pension, their records used to be kept there. And it was like 4:30. And the gentleman asked, he said, young man, I'll come back tomorrow morning. I said, why not? He said, because it's 4:30 and I know government people like go out 4 o'clock. And my heart really sunk, you know, this could be my father, you know. And I said to him, Dad, you already came all this way. Let us go through the record and see how much of your records we can pull up. And I said that to say that what are we doing in terms of improving the public relations aspect within the public service? There are a lot of government workers who go out of their way, but what are we doing to improve efficiency? I'm all big, I mean, I might not be the president of COLA right now, and I support unionism. I support advocacy, but at the same time, once we have a job to do, we have to do it to the best of our ability. And I've spoken to President Flowers, and we shared some very open discussion in private, and what things that could be improved, you know. And I want to ask the Minister, Usher, what are they doing in those areas? But secondly, while he's there as well, I'd like for him to address, for me, I think over the years, I've had, when I speak, because I have knowledge, my friend was Alison Major, he was murdered, he was a fireman.
Do you want to try to make it faster for me because of time? But go ahead.
One last quick thing. I won't take long. Minister Usher, what are you all doing right now to find a permanent home for the fire department? I feel like they were being very neglected before. And finally, in terms of the workforce of sexual harassment, what are the updates in how we're protecting women? Thank you, Minister, and thank you all.
Yeah.
You missed the first part of the fire station.
Yeah, no, I can answer that part very quickly. As we said earlier, the National Fire Headquarters, the area, the location of the headquarters has been identified. We have the architectural drawings being finalized, and of course, getting the funding and hoping to start in 2027.
Okay, I've taken note that that one is PR for public officers.
Sure.
By public officers. Love, can I help?
Morning. Big Chief, Mr. Rene. Morning, sir.
Morning.
Mr. Gab, morning. Good job as always.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'll keep this short and sweet. I called just to say a big thank you to Minister Usher. Morning, sir.
Morning, thank you.
I've been a serving member of the public service and the union for over 7 years, my brother. So that means I've been under both parties. You know, I've served under both parties, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I feel like I've been victimized by both parties. Minister Usher, you're the first man I ever seen to hold that position. You saw my case, and you assisted me, and you don't know me from a can of paint. So me and my family really thank you. Okay. Another thing, for the first time, even the fireman them have a voice in the cabinet. And, you know, that's a real good thing, man.
Okay.
In the words of my father, you're a gentleman, a scout, and a scholar.
Thank you, Carl.
We definitely, me and my family will definitely keep you in our prayers, and we appreciate you, man. And just before I leave, this kind of unrelated to the public service, just please, if they could tell the cabinet of BL, listen to the public. Like this, the kill out here.
All right.
It's become a real issue. I can't go anywhere without hearing people complain about their light bill.
Great.
Anyway,
thank you, Carlos.
For your time, gentlemen. I know you're a busy man.
No, it's just the
Keep
time.
up the good work.
Thank you. Try to get as much in.
Yeah.
Try to get as much in because the minister will left for your 30.
So thanks to that, Carla, and certainly we do our best to make sure that we respond to all individual queries when it comes to public service.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of public officers. There are issues, but we try to address them as best we can.
Love, can I help? We're taking a note so we could.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Dangriga, Stan Creek.
Yes, sir.
And there's no fire station. There's a fire station, but no equipment.
Okay. Okay, Dangriga. Thanks, caller. We took a note.
Thanks.
Okay.
So we do have
equipment. Thank you for calling.
So we do have a very modern, one of the most modern fire stations in the country is in Dangriga. We have 2 fire trucks there. I think one is being worked on right now. The other one is operational. Okay. And so if you're saying that the next one is also not working, it's something I would need to check on. We've also now opened a fire station in Hopkins.
Okay.
So we also have a substation in the Hopkins area.
And a fire
and we have a fire pump there as well, a fire truck there as well. So, but definitely I will look into what the caller is saying.
Dangriga.
Yeah. BL Minister, the last caller pointed out that that's one of the
certainly, and I think that
right now.
You know,
BL was a big
and it certainly came to the fore last night with that extended power outage caused by by Mexico. There was a trip in the transmission from Mexico and caused the entire country to go into darkness.
Okay, let's take the call and then we'll continue. Love, can I help? Let's give it.
My name is Mr. Osha.
Yes, sir.
This is a 79 years old man who worked for about 25 years for KBH. And I was being turned down from Social Security benefits. And now I am here crippled and can't work no more. And it's up bad financially. I can't buy one scooter. What does you as a public do for help we poor old man we crippled up and can't get no way in our life? Can I let come go to agree?
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Listen offline.
Assistance to the elderly.
We'll take one more call after this, if anything, Chief, because
Yeah.
Minister would have to
So-
respond.
Yeah,
to
to
the
answer all
pending
the
matter.
questions, yeah.
So I think just to answer that gentleman, sorry to hear that he's in that situation. He said he worked for KBH. KBH is not a government office. It is a private enterprise. I don't know what his particular issue with Social Security is, why he's not able to get his benefits. But certainly, if he would like to leave his information with you guys, I could look into it for him. But it seems that he's not able to get the benefits that he is entitled to from Social Security. Might be some issue with his employment or contributions or something other. But it's not. That comes from a private firm, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the
Love,
last
can I
call,
help?
Chief.
Yes, I just want to say, man, I signed up for April for my leave benefits and nothing yet.
Wait, what?
Which
Social
kind of
Security?
benefit?
Yes, for April, and I don't get nothing.
These are the same guy we call us now?
No, that's
No, no,
Oh, different one.
You're saying you're what? You're 65 is for your pension, you mean? Caller?
Yes, sir.
Is it for your pension that you've signed up for? From Social Security?
Yes, for April.
Oh, okay. How old are you? 65 or 60 or 65?
60.
Okay, and you're not working.
You're not
You
working.
want to work at the wait the grass, the wait for the grass grow, but
Oh, okay.
why?
We'll take your number and you could
Yeah,
take
if
your
you could,
number
if you
and
could leave your name and number, and we could try to look into it for you.
I could give the social security number.
Give it off here, caller, to Love FM, and then we'll follow it up
Yeah,
for you.
yes. Call us back, and then you'll leave it with the front
Yeah,
desk,
leave it
and
with
we'll
the front
pass it to
desk.
the minister.
Huh?
No, I was saying you could call back
Call back.
and leave the
We'll
number.
hang up, leave the number with the front desk person, and then the minister will get it.
Yeah, that would be the last call, so we'll give the minister, because he has to leave at
Yeah, he has to
8:30.
leave at the 30. We got 8 minutes to answer all the questions.
So make we start from the first caller. The
PR for
public
officers.
relations for public officers. Yes, it's certainly something that we are very acutely aware of. We have a quality assurance department in the Ministry of Public Service. This department takes queries or concerns when it comes from the general public. If they got some bad treatment, if they went to an office and they felt that they were not treated in a fair way, we do our analysis. We interview persons working. We're trying to improve the overall aspect of when you go into a government department, government office, you receive quality treatment, efficient treatment, and you are able to resolve, hopefully, the issue that you have. We're not there yet, but we are working through the Ministry of Public Service, through this particular quality assurance department, to improve the level of service throughout all government ministries and departments. We've done surveys, especially in areas where people are complaining the most about those areas. We try to go in there and do that training for public relations, customer service, so that they're able to provide better service. So we are working a lot in that area.
Like reminding the public officer that it's that person who is asking for the service that is actually paying for it through taxes and
Of
GST
course, and that's why we say without
and
this,
what have you,
without the individual there, you wouldn't have a job.
You know,
And it's not
you have to
only
serve.
Belizeans, but you also have visitors that go into these departments. And sometimes, we want to make sure that everybody has the very same quality experience when they go into a government department.
Yeah.
On the issue of BEL, Troy, that we were talking about just now, I think that it is a concern. It's a concern that I have. A lot of residents of Fort George have brought up this issue to me, so it's an issue that I have been trying to get as much information as I can about. Number one, on a positive note, we have to give the new CEO of BEL credit for going and having that press conference.
Yeah.
I think the leadership in the past were not willing to go and face the people, and I think that, or face the media, and I think that it was good that he was able to get up there and answer the tough questions. Right, and I think that is important. Two, we have to look at the genesis of where we are now, meaning that from 2014, when the analysis was done that we need more power creation and generation, and nothing was done. This, what we're faced with right now, we would not be faced with if the proper work was done 12 years ago. That has to be said. I think the CEO did not want to mash any toes when he kind of dodged and said, well, they were working with the information that they... No, be real with the people, right? It was a decision made back then that was a wrong decision. They continued to rely on CFE because at that time CFE was the cheapest. But CFE has not proven now to be the cheapest. We have to have energy sovereignty in this country. We have to be energy independent. We have to be able to provide for all of our energy needs in this country. Right. And yes, I am upset that the projects, the Saudi initiative, the different projects for solar are taking so long. They need to come on stream faster. BL needs to be, remember BL is a distribution, They don't produce electricity or produce energy. They distribute that. But they have to buy. They buy and sell.
Yeah.
And if they are buying it at a high price and selling it at a lower price, they will always lose money.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to curtail their expenses so that they don't lose money and be able to find the most reliable and the cheapest source of that energy to be able to distribute to the country.
Because over the years we have sat here and heard of people wanting to take initiatives to produce electricity that they would sell on to BEL, but Cocoon, nuts, to
there have been so many, but there seem to be some kind of roadblock when it came to either PUC or BEL or somebody, and we're not able to get that these power purchase agreements signed. And I think that it's very important that we look at different areas and we get energy sovereignty in this country. The explanation that is out there about your usage and so on, that's not, nobody's buying that. And I agree. It can't be that our usage has gone up so much that our bills are going up so much.
Yeah.
We have to be able to do an overall, a comprehensive analysis of why those bills are going up. It is a concern, and it's something that I share with the Belizean people when it comes to their light bill, because they have to be, it affects every day and affects everyone.
Everybody.
Yes.
And as that caller said, everywhere you go, you hear the same thing about this, like the rising cost of electricity.
And then the social security benefits that are not being collected.
Well, that's an area that I'll have to speak to the CEO in social security. Now, it might be, again, there are contributions and different
some technical issue
that might affect it. But if I can get the specifics from those two persons who call in, then I will be able to follow up on
Minister, is there a hotline or an area or a department that will attend to concerns by the elderly? Because as you get older, you're not able to take care. You need advocates to
human development
to help you.
It's a good. It's a good suggestion. There are hotlines, but it's not dedicated to senior citizens.
You have a quality assurance.
We have a quality assurance hotline, but anybody can call that. It's not a dedicated hotline for certain vulnerable individuals. So maybe we need a vulnerable individual hotline or something to that effect.
Maybe through human development.
But it's a good idea.
It needs to be an outreach to senior citizens because a lot of them can't do nothing for them.
One quick clarity. Somebody texts and asks about whether or not this new modernization will eliminate increments or any thought of that?
No,
so-
the increment system will still be in place. Maybe what it will look at is the allowances, because I still believe that the allowances should be in your salary package. It shouldn't be discriminatory, meaning that your supervisor say Troy can get the allowance but Renee can't get the allowance.
Yeah.
If you are doing the same job and you're entitled to this allowance,
Cool.
then
Yeah.
it should be in your salary package, and that's an area that we're looking at.
All right.
And you know, somebody is saying, I'll just make sure I vet it before I read it, right? Yeah, the question of vesting years, again, that was the question that came up as it relates to the pension, whether or not those years would continue to remain as exists right now in terms of your
And
pension act.
So that is a very important point that person raised in terms of referring to the revenue to business tax service. So in terms of the workers there, you have workers that have been there for different numbers of years. They have to be able to not lose those years of service.
Yeah.
And that's a discussion that we have to have. That it shouldn't be that you completely start over. Something has to be done for those persons who have been there 10, 12, 5, 7, it doesn't matter the number of years. We have to look at that, and we have to be able to say that they shouldn't be at a disadvantageous point with this new revenue authority coming into stream.
Yeah. One last quick comment for you is relation to the audit going on with the Ministry of Border Security at this point in time. Any updated views or anything on that?
I haven't gotten any updates in terms of where they are with the audit. I do know that they're looking at a longer time period than was originally proposed, so it might take a little bit longer in terms of covering all of those years. But I think it's an important exercise, and I very early on when this issue came up, I said it should be done, because an audit is not done only when something goes wrong. Audits are done all the time.
Yes, yes.
And the Office of the Auditor General is a very important constitutional role to look at these different the different departments, different areas, to look at their controls, to make sure that the systems that are in place are working, that make sure that the regulations are being followed, to make sure that the laws are being followed. Certainly, and this has come out very clearly, the financial regulations need to be harmonized, because the FARA is not in total compliance with some of these older regulations, and so there's a confusion as to which regulation you have to follow, the Stores Order, FARA, etc., where they're talking about different areas. In terms of auditing, that the changes have been made in terms of how you do auditing. So all of these have to be looked at, and I think that coming out of this particular audit, you will have proposals or recommendations as to how to improve the system. So I'm looking forward to that.
FARA meaning the Finance and Audit.
Finance and
Reform.
Audit, yeah.
You have the last word, Minister?
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks.
You want to say hi to the people of Fort George?
Of course.
Take the opportunity.
Thanks for the opportunity to be here. I missed the last time. We had some mix-up as to the days when I was supposed to come in. So I hope we can do this more regularly.
Anytime, man.
You know, maybe quarterly. Maybe quarterly I can come in and have this national conversation, because it's important. And to my wonderful people in Fort George, you know, I always I get enthusiastic when I speak about Fort George, because I love these people. This Saturday we have our Back to School initiative. It's a little later than we usually do it, but I was away. So we're doing it this Saturday for our students returning to school, and we're having the usual, the school supplies and the different haircuts and different things. Just a community gathering where our students and their families can come and just celebrate in getting back to school. This is always an exciting time for me.
And it's a GST-free weekend too, right?
And it is a GST-free weekend, yes, as was the 15th. Well, it's a GST Saturday, not the weekend. Because some people thought it was Saturday and Sunday, but it's on Saturday.
Saturday for the school items.
So, as I said, getting this school time, going back to school, is always an exciting time for me, because I enjoy watching our students get into that education field again and knowing that this is the future of Belize. And we have to make sure that we protect and provide them with all the tools available so that they can be good citizens, right, Rene? Good Belizeans.
Good Belizean.
Good Belizean.
Yes.
Very good Belizean.
So for Judge, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Saturday and to continue the work. And as we go into September, our National Patriotic Month, we're celebrating 45 years as a nation this year, Rene, and we have to reflect on where we are going, where we are and where we are going as a nation. And I'm hoping that we are able to do that during September. I'm hoping that we have some very good discussions about nationhood, about our projections going forward, what we want to achieve, the challenges that we will face, and how we are going to overcome those challenges. Because the Belizean people are a resilient people. We are a proud people, and we know how to come together when the time is needed to come together. And September is always a good month to remind us, to inspire us, and you always do a good job at all of these events, Rene. So thanks for all the work that you have done in terms of making sure that Belize is where it is today.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excellent.
And thanks again for having me.
Thank you, Minister, anytime.
Well,
It's 34.5 minutes past 8. I know you have to run, so we'll take the break quickly and
we come right back.
come back. Son 20 minutes to 9 o'clock, las 9 menos 20 minutos en nuestros estudios. ¿Cómo está usted el día de hoy, Mr. Troy Gap?
Yeah, Chief, it's a hump day. Yes, it's going good. It's going good. The 26th day of August. I would say, in looking at the discussion with Minister
It's a
Osha,
good discussion.
you know, in terms of the frankness and openness of the
that's what I like
discussion,
with
I
me.
think that's certainly extremely comforting and helpful for persons who have their different issues to be resolved. I mean, the fundamental issue here is that there are concerns in various areas, and it's about addressing all of those areas. You know, they always say perfection is the enemy of the good. So we always have to continue to strive for better. The important thing is that you're moving forward.
That's the main thing.
At all times, and that has to be the area that we look at. When you look at our economy and our growth and looking at all the dynamics that goes in to our economy and our society, I mean, it's multifaceted, it's multi-pronged, it is segmented, all of that put together to make the whole. We you know, in our position here was trying to cover as much areas as we can as it relates to government, relates to his ministry, relates to other areas as it relates to the political parties, because you cannot discount the political parties in terms of our growth over the years, or how impactful they are in terms of where we are over the years,
Well,
because they're the one that
you know.
forms government.
That's right.
You know,
when you
and the
vote
way
for-
how we are structured, and so
Let's tell folks the lines are open if they want to call at this point in time. Yeah, to make any comment or something between now and 9 o'clock.
yeah, about 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes.
Yeah, and so the reality is, as I was saying, is that when we cover all these areas and you get all the various feedbacks, the fundamental issue here that now the populace have information they can work with. And I think some salient point that came out of that discussion was one, that the government has to do a better job of putting information out.
That's right.
He pointed out to the fact that you create reservations when you don't have information.
So it's something you and I have spoken about many times, right? That you got to be proactive. You cannot be doing things like you're hiding, right? You got to be proactive and tell us that's what you're doing, right? Explain it properly so the people understand.
You might like it.
They might not like it.
You might not like
but
it
at
because
least one, you get it.
You see, it's like
We have
we have to
when
make
the
sure
suspicion and everything come around, things
we also have to stop being our enemy, because you can't ask me a question and I answer it, but you don't like my
You
answer,
don't like the
and so
answer.
you make an issue
Yeah.
out of it. Then don't ask me the question if you already knew the answer, because that is being foolish.
And then that you have an
You know,
agenda.
you have a caller calls me and says, if I know where the Prime Minister at, or you ask you, and we said we don't know.
We don't know.
And then he
got a
started
problem
to
with
berate
that.
us
We
because
don't
we
know.
don't know. And I'm saying that is so foolish.
We tell you we don't know.
So why ask the question if you knew the answer?
And you got an answer. We don't know.
You know, because if you already knew the answer, then you need not ask me the question, because now I give you an answer that you think doesn't line up with what you may
What
have
you
known
might
the
be
answer
thinking.
should be.
What you
So
want the answer to be.
that doesn't make for a good conversation. So I'm saying is, if we know the answer already, don't ask the question. Just go and
make
narrate
your
it.
statement. Make
your statement, narrate it, and that's it. And if you get confirmation, fine. If you don't, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if you ask a question, and I think also
You
the
got answer.
minister points out
I don't know.
that when the new CEO of BL came out and had these press conferences, the fact of the matter is there's some hard reality that all utilities have to face.
Exactly.
The high cost of energy is also facing the energy
All
company.
businesses have to face that, Mr. Troika,
Right.
because energy drives things. The energy you put in your
And
vehicle,
if you're buying
the
high
energy
and selling low, you're going to lose
you're
money.
going to lose money. Right?
And that's a reality that you could blame you could find any reason, any amount of persons to blame, or persons or entities to blame, but you have to deal with it now. No, the blame is all right. You could penalize me at the polls or so later, but right now I have to fix the problem.
Yeah, love, can I help?
Yes, sir. Good day.
Good day, good evening, good morning.
Mr. Rennie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. One of the important things about not knowing is this. We need to find out what's happening at the International Courts of Justice, man. That's all.
Well, that you say we
What's
could ask
going on
questions
there?
there.
How come we are not hearing about that?
Yeah,
Sure.
Let's have some
that's a
straight
good
talk
point.
and let us know what is happening, where we are in the stream of things, wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah, that's a very
Thank you,
good
sir.
point, sir.
Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a good point. We have to ask a question for true. Where are we with the ICJ?
Yeah, it's fair. It's
That's
a
fair,
It's a,
you know?
well, it should be the most tantamount of question that can be
Yeah.
asked, because that's
The last I heard was
There-
that they were waiting the ruling or something like that.
Yeah,
That
I
the
believe all the-
deliberations are on all the arguments have been put forward.
I'm not sure if the oral
Yeah, we
arguments
can
have been done, but I know all the various memorandum, memorials, and so have been submitted, and so the counter
But
arguments and arguments.
It's a key question that should be kept in the forefront.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Trigan.
yeah. So
Right.
we will certainly, if
pass
anybody
it on to
have
our
any
news director so they could do
information
some
as it
more
relates from our foreign affairs office or so, could give us a little update as to where we are. So that's the newsroom to follow up on that, because
Yeah.
some people believe, at least the last we heard as well, was that sometime between now and maybe at the end of 2027, we might be able to get a verdict out of the International Court of
Yeah.
Justice, ICJ. So, and we're all hoping for the best. We saw the Prime Minister visit Honduras earlier this week, where he met with the President of Honduras as well. They're a part of the discussion as it relates to the Sapodilla Range.
Sapodilla
Keys.
Range, yeah. Love, can I help?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
sir.
Yes, man. It caused a blackout last night.
Yeah, they said that there was some sort of problem with the CFE main grid.
Good, yeah.
And apparently that they were carrying all the load for the country at that time, and when that fell, everything dropped.
Everything dropped.
And then BL had to scramble to kind of get the domestic
Domestic
system
back up, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So listen to me good. What do you think come to your mind now when you hear that?
Well, we need
Be
to.
honest, what come to your mind?
We need to have our power within this
Exactly.
within this
We pull
8867. We can't be tied onto.
And what else? What else? You believe the payment have anything to do with it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's done. But this agreement was done government to government. That I don't believe that they would cut us off because of that, because there's an agreement and payment plan. So that didn't come to mind for me.
It had to be
I'll tell you what came to mind for me was load shedding. Was that maybe CFE said, listen, I can't handle Belize right now,
I will
and
take
so
care of Mexico first.
and I had to take. That's what came to my mind. no?
So make we go. This is a good discussion. So how we get to this stage?
Very good.
Very
Very,
long
5 years. Can we vote
very good discussion. You asked me if I answer or you want to comment? I just ask. You asked me a question or I check?
I know, man. And we got a good discussion.
Okay, no, because you asked me how we got here.
Yeah.
Well,
We get here due to neglect.
okay, fair enough.
And we get here due to, we got people, we get in our government, both governments. We don't think long term. We get in our government and think short term for themselves and for them family member and colonies. And that's why we're there like this. When you get people in government, we put the country first, the people first. We'll never ever have these problems. Because you think long term, you want country want to develop, you want to expand. How we get here? Where we owe $30 million. Listen good. $30 million we owe. We're buying 2 dams. listen, Rene, good, listen good, for $250 million. What kind of power them two dam they give away? Try, what kind of power?
Those are good questions.
And what happened to them two dam, Rene, I want to listen good. Then they're on the last stage, you know. The life of them about 40 years. The record then they are going to be white elephant. I tell you, we should have never invested $250 million in something when in 10 years we may own like free $1 US we may get it for. We could have used that money, try. This is the way it say. I would have never invested in that. I don't care what people said are a good deal and the shareholders will make that to them business. I may invest in that $250 million in a proper solar system. That's how I may do it. To hell with them two damn there. They now become absolute in a short while, Rennie. Invest in something for the future. You invest in that when they're backwards. You know to go forward. Invest in a solar system. We get the type of weather now, the climate, where the sun, we have got more heat. So the solar is far better. Why we are doing a thing like that? To make certain people make more money off of the deal, right? They tell us straight up. And this is what I'm saying. For 45 years, we have had people with self-interest, not country interest. And that's the way they hurt we today. I want to continue to hurt we tomorrow if we don't get people as serious and put country first instead of them and their family member first. You want to have a great day.
Thank you, Carla. And I think when you asked the question, and we did ask the question to Minister Usher, and I think he went back to 2014 when the first analysis was done and the recommendation that you had to expand our generation capacity because the country was growing far beyond what could be provided. But at that point, they decided that they would stick with CFE back in 2014.
Because the supply was cheaper.
Which would, I mean, if we're talking about, like he said, both political parties, it was under the Dean Barrow administration, that they decided that they would not create a generation independence for energy, and they would keep it outside of the country.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, love can I help?
Morning, Mr. Chai.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Mr. Chai, I listen to you every morning and your song. You talk just like Judge Price. I think your business is a parliament. Listen to me, Mr. Chai.
That's a big shoes you're comparing me with.
I want to present something to you where I know you got a jurisdiction.
Okay.
If a man hire you, I pay you $40 a day. You don't sign no contract that I want contract agreement. But after 15 years, he holler that you do contract. Is that right? $40 a day.
And you don't have he's employing you for what? More than $40 a day for 15 years every day?
15 years to do maintenance work.
Okay.
Carpentry, repairs, plumbing, electricity, whatever.
He owes you severance, it sounds like to me.
Huh?
He owes you severance.
Check the labor laws.
And if you're working more than 24 hours a week, then he has to pay social and deduct social from
you.
The
labor law, they're right there with the
Yeah, but I mean, you're asking me and I'm giving you my view. But Chief is correct. You can also take your matter up with if such a case exists, no, with the labor department.
You know what the labor tell me that in that case there? The labor tell me that they kind of people that will work for you can't win no case with them. Because they have money people and
No.
I don't doubt you. I question you, but
I'm disappointed that
I'm
they
disappointed
tell you
that happened. Yeah.
If that is
the case,
I'm disappointed.
That shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that should not be the case, Carla. They're supposed to adjudicate the process and go and work.
One more thing, Mr. Chai.
Sure, sir.
Then get Morales Law Firm. And Morales Law Firm set up to give me $5,000 and holler you can't carry the case no further. And then when Social Security said, you shouldn't have signed you shouldn't have signed for that $5,000 because that's a wedding handbook.
I just may ask you if you sign something.
Why don't you sign your sign?
Yeah.
I can sign one.
I know they dangle 5,000 in front of you.
I'll let you sign for it.
I hear you, Carla. Yeah, you should have
and
signed
that handbook me can get the whole Social Security thing.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not sure about the issue with yeah. Well, if it is that I don't know what you signed, but obviously you must have made some commitments in that signing that you're not pursue any further.
Yeah,
and you
that's a
accept it.
mistake.
Yeah.
But then get away.
Well, I always say, Carla, that you try to consult whenever they give you a document to look at. You try to consult with as much people as you possibly can. Sometimes you might not be able to afford an attorney, but you might have some other friends that might have a little bit of understanding who could at least help you, advise you. That's all the best I can say, because to say to a person who can't afford an attorney that is to seek legal action or legal advice is kind of just not giving them the best advice. Because if you can't afford it, you just can't.
Legal aid, but the lawyer legal aid turned me down to them. They never show up that case.
Oh my.
And so the Morales, the magistrate listened to where Morales.
Well, the lawyer represented the client. The lawyer wasn't doing anything that was outside of his purview. No, he was there to represent his client and to give the best service he can give. So I wouldn't call his name the firm too much. That's just a lawyer.
I don't know, but right now the suffer heavy physical because I can't do nothing for my property. My house is rotten down.
Oh my!
I can't borrow no money from credit union. I done.
All right. Well, we'll take a number and see what it is that maybe within our circles anything that can be done to assist. No.
All right, Mr. Try.
Thank you,
Carl. Good work, Mr. Try. You remind me of George Fresh.
Okay. All right, Carla. It's a bit I don't even come close, but thanks very much for the accolades.
All right.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, Chief. But man, that same shoes, that's huge shoes to fill. I mean, that's not even a shoes anymore. That's something bigger.
Mr. Troy Gabon.
Yes, sir. But certainly we have quite a number of our citizens that are going through differences and difficulties in their lives, and circumstances do exist. I think the advice that we were saying to him from the early stage that yes, he was, in terms of that caller, entitled for whatever it is that he got. But as usual, they worked out a settlement. There was a settlement, and he agreed to the settlement. And usually, when you do that, you tie your own hands to go forward thereafter. And it's after the fact you realize, well, maybe I made an error. But then, it's very hard to untangle and go backwards after that. So always be sure that what you're going to do in making any commitments that you're going to attach your signature, that you know exactly what the circumstances and what the overall or overarching impact that would have going forward. So that's my basic, simple layman advice. But Chief, it's about that time. Yes. And I certainly enjoyed this morning. Certainly we covered quite a bit. I thought we did a lot of justice to putting information out there to our people. The Belizean people is our audience, and I think, I always use the word engagement because I want for you to be engaged in the discussion. And I don't have a problem having a dialogue as long as we can be respectful under the circumstance. Then we're certainly able to achieve quite a lot. And I go back to our interview with the unions on Monday, a very respectful, a very harmonized and constructive interview we had with the union, and I felt that helped a lot of folks out there who heard a lot about these things and didn't understand because the unions and the government, they were shouting at each other. But when you start to talk and dialogue, you're able to accomplish quite a bit. And if you listen to Minister Usher, who is the head of the HR of the government, he has some of the similar concerns that the union has, and will be able to work through them.
Yeah.
And so the public officers should be comforted by that idea that at least the minister of the public service shares some of the same concerns.
Once you're talking in good faith, you know, you can move forward.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
The thing is to keep the dialogue open, the
Yes, sir.
discussion open and fluid, and respect the views of each other.
Yeah, and that way we know that we can reach some solution at some point in time.
We'll reach the solution eventually.
See, Chief, well, it's 9 o'clock straight up. I want to say thanks to Raphael Roberts for working, doing a good job. Yeah, Double R and Love FM. I want to thank our master control operator, William Usher, as well as our producers,
Richard Herbert,
and certainly Manuela Ayuso. And Andrew Jones for streaming, and of course everybody behind the scene who made the show possible.
Win, man.
Well, you see, but he's saving up for Sunday.
Okay.
Saving up for Sunday. That's his big day. That is his D-Day.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I want to thank you, our viewers and listeners, throughout the length and breadth of this beautiful jewel of ours. Those of you in the diaspora who are streaming, we're glad you could join us as well. We trust that this morning's discussions was engaging and informative and enjoyable as it was for us. Thank all the callers as well, our guest, Honorable Henry Charles Usher as well. And of course, Chief, we always say, come back again tomorrow, where we hope to do this all over again just for you. We know it's a hump day. It's the 26th day of August. You're celebrating a birthday. We say happy birthday.
This is one of the fastest 2.5 hours ever. You know, when you come on the morning, so it just goes.
Yes,
fast.
yes.
But then look at
it's
9
zip
o'clock
by.
already.
So what you got? What you got from Dolly?
Dolly Parton, right? Late Dolly Parton on money. You talk about her thoughts on money. There's a quote her now.
Yes,
maybe you could break it down if you wish.
Quickly.
I always count my blessings more than I count my money. I don't work for money, never did.
Well, they said if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
That's right.
So if she loved what she did in terms of her blessing and accolades and all that has been bestowed upon her, a person from poor upbringing.
That's right. I could empathize with that because, you know, really that's the whole idea. When you work for yourself, then you work on yourself. When you work for yourself and on yourself, then you become good at what you're doing, and that's what happened in her case. That's what it was. Yeah. You know, she enjoyed singing, she enjoyed writing, so she was not working. She was doing something she enjoyed, but her songs and the things she wrote by bringing out the best of herself made her a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But if she was saying, "Oh, they have to pay me for write this song, you have to pay me for write that song," then where would she have been?
Yeah.
You have to. She did the songs and everything, and then it's that got her.
So do it, and then the money follows.
The money follows. But you have to bring out the excellence in you.
She was a great philanthropist as well.
Mm-hmm.
She created the Dollywood Foundation.
Yeah.
And she created a theme park in I think it's in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. But she was a country girl.
Yeah.
You know, and certainly her songs transcends. And will continue to live on. And so, you know, like I said, one of the reasons you feel good talking about her, because she always come off as a good person.
Always positive.
You know, like she was a person that didn't seem to offend anyone.
Mm-mm.
For the most part, you know, you get that feeling.
He said we cannot, and change, he says, we cannot direct the wind, but we can adjust the sails.
To meet the wind.
To meet the wind.
Yes,
what's coming away, you adjust to meet it.
All right, well, let's love it.
Do the adjustment and, to meet it, all right?
Yes, sir.
And there she's on the screen there. I mean, the whole world is paying doing what we are doing right now.
Yes,
you know?
yes, she's certainly
recognizing her passing, right? You know,
she certainly be recognized.
So, Mr. Troy Gabb,
yes, sir, we gotta go.
And like we always say, you got choices in life. You got choices to go here, there, and everywhere. You got choices to do different things, but you got the most important choice of all is to love or to do otherwise, right? And we won't get into the otherwise, right? No. We'll just concentrate on the love.
Yes.
Because that's the choice we would like you to make. Choose to love, and when you choose to love, we'll always say to you, Belize and beyond, thanks for choosing love. Bye.